What's up, guys? So if you have the AJT injection fob for your 2022 Tundra and you're having problems getting the key out, if it's getting stuck on you when you're hitting the slider button, that usually releases it. Let me show you how this tiny little red square that I made on my 3D printer solved that issue, and now the remote works as smooth as can be. Let's get into it. So before I show you how to fix it, let me show you what's actually happening so it makes more sense when I show you where that red square that I printed goes. So here you have the front and back of the AJT key fob. This obviously has the buttons in it. To release your key, the slider right there, you're supposed to slide that over. It's supposed to release the key and you can pull the key out. I'm going to show you that in a second. What's happening and where the issue is coming in, this empty space right here on the inside of the front panel. If you look and see when the two halves go together, the black slider that you would slide over to release your key, that sits right down in that wide open space. There's nothing down in there. What's happening is, and let me put the key in here to show you, to give you, you know, this will make it kind of perfectly clear. So when you slide your key in, it clicks into place. The little slider right there is what holds it in place. So when on the outside, when you slide that over, it brings this over, releases the key, you can pull the key out. What's happening, because there's nothing in this space where that black slider sits, there's nothing to prevent it from popping up instead of sliding over. Okay, so watch, I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna hold the key so it doesn't fall. But when you go, if you watch this end of the slider over here by the spring, when you go to slide it over, see how it wants to pop up? Hopefully it's showing up on camera. I don't know if it is, but when you slide it over, that back end wants to come up instead of slide. Nothing to prevent it from happening, okay? I'm not sure how AJT didn't catch that. They're an awesome company. I've had a ton of their products in the past. This is not a knock on them, but in my opinion, it's a little bit of a design flaw. So when I finally realized that's what happened, and guys, this took me a while to figure out, because my original fob, I have two of these fobs. This is my original where I did not do any alterations yet. This one actually doesn't do it all the time on me. It didn't even do it in the beginning. I didn't think I was having the problem after seeing people mention it in the forums. My original one, the first one I purchased, wasn't really having the issue. It would get a little sticky, the key maybe not come out smooth all the time when I was trying it, but it wasn't really sticking on me. When I got my second fob, which I'll show you right now, this one was sticking like crazy. It actually had my key locked in there. I actually scratched the back of the thing because when I first put my key in there, it would not let my key out. I was using a little flathead screwdriver to try to slide the slider over. It just would not come out. I ended up having to take the remote apart to get my key out. Okay, that's when I really started messing with this thing to try to figure it out. You guys know me. I can't leave well enough alone. I wasn't just going to return it. I had to figure out what was happening and see if I could fix it. And well and behold, I found out what was going on after messing with it for several minutes and, you know, taking it apart, putting it together, doing everything I can. I finally saw what was happening with that slider. Here's the fix. Insert the 3D printed red square. So all I did, and I have another one here because I'm going to put it on the other remote even though it's not really needed at this point. All I did was 3D print this little red square. So I took my digital calipers, I took some measurements of the inside. Here you can see the one that doesn't have it and the one that does. So I took some measurements with my digital calipers of the interior section right here, where, in my opinion, there should be more support. Okay, not in my opinion. In fact, that's what's causing this issue. So took some measurements, went to my 3D printer, and the measurements of this little red square are key, especially the height of it. So let me see if I can get you a look. What you want to do, if you have a 3D printer at home, I'll put the measurements of this block down below. And I did use the tape on the back of it, which you can see here on the other one that I didn't place yet. It's the just double backing Gorilla sided tape, okay? You have to take that into consideration as well. So I printed a few of these to get the measurement perfect, and I finally dialed it in because the height of that red square has to be flush with the other edges of the remote. If that red square is too short, it doesn't come up high enough, you're going to have the same problem. That black slider is going to have room to wiggle and pop out on you when you're trying to slide it. If it's too tall, when you go to put the remotes back together, it's obviously not going to want to go back together and sit flush like it should. Okay, so the height of that little red block is the most important measurement, but you also don't want to make it too big because it might get in the way of other, you know, interior features in there. All right. If you have a 3D printer, I will put the the measurements down below. If you don't have a printer and you're having this problem, don't return your fob. This is such an easy fix. Since I added that little red block, it went from literally not releasing my key at all to now it's smooth as can be, and it's working better than my original remote that wasn't necessarily having the problem, but the key would get a little sticky on me. I'm going to go ahead and put the other little red square in my original fob just because it works that well. If you need me to print one of these little red blocks for you, shoot me a message. I'll put my Instagram handle on the screen here. Shoot me a message and I'll send one to you. It literally takes my printer 45 seconds to make this little block, and it takes next to no material. I'm not worried about cost. Shoot me a message. All I ask is maybe give this video a thumbs up, spread it around, make sure you're subscribed, and you know, support the channel. That's all I'm asking for. And so if you need one of these things, let me know. And again, the height is the key. So you may be able to just find something at your house or garage that you could stick in there, but it has to be flush with these other edges of the remote. Okay, that is important, so that black slider can slide smoothly across the top of it. All right, so let me so again, if you need one of these, shoot me a message on Instagram, put my handle on the screen there. I'll get you one in the mail. You know, no problems, no questions asked. All right, let me put them together and I'll show you exactly how smooth they are now working since we put that block in there. And again, I'm going to add it to my original one as well. All right, guys, so there you can see, goes together perfectly fine. That red square does not interfere with anything. And again, you can see this is the scratched one. This was the one that was not working well at all. Now watch how smooth it works. Key slides right in. You'll hear that little click, locks in place. Now when I go to hit that slider button, smooth as can be. Okay, that little red square is the key. All right, so I went back and added it to my other one, my original one that wasn't really having that problem, but it's only going to help it. So again, I'll show you a couple times. Literally just slides right in, right out. All right, hopefully this helps. If you guys have any questions or concerns, put them down below as always. Again, if you need one of them little red squares 3D printed, shoot me a message. I'll gladly send one out. All I ask is support the channel, like the video, and subscribe. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.